Good morning, this is Travis. I'd like to welcome you back to Coffee, Computers, and More. And today we're taking a look at the Fuji Finepix XP140 digital camera. Now, I bought this camera at Costco on clearance in November of 2020 for 40 bucks. In fact, I bought two of them because when I film outside, I tend to use two cameras. Now, this camera is marketed to people that are active outdoors, so it is supposedly rugged, shock resistant, water resistant. We're going to test it a little bit and see how well it can handle some of these elements. We're also going to give you a video test at 3 different times of the day to see how well it can handle low light early morning filming, bright afternoon filming. We'll do some footage of my car to see how well it can handle glare and things like that. And then also we'll take it out in the evening and see how well it handles, daylight, a little bit of sunlight, maybe some glare. And then finally we'll do an early morning test when it's dark out with nothing but street lights to see if it's grainy or even usable footage at all. I want to just kind of give you the basic experience that your average, ordinary, everyday user is going to run into. You pop the battery in it, you charge it, you start recording, and that's it. You don't mess with any of the settings. So we're going to run everything on auto. Now, when I do a part 2 for a video test for this camera or just a camera test in general review, we're going to go through all the settings and the ergonomics and all that fun stuff. But I wanted to bring you the video footage right now as soon as I can, because if you're interested in one of these, you might want to go pick one up. And in the nature of full disclosure, I did buy the camera. I'm not sponsored by Costco. Costco didn't send it to me. Like I said, I actually bought two of them because I thought at 40 bucks a piece, that's really not that bad. Normally they're 160 bucks. The bundles are 200 bucks on Amazon. And if you go to Costco, you actually get the bundle, like I said, for $40. Includes a memory card, a floating strap, action strap, rear screen protector, and so on. So let's go ahead and get started showing you some of the video footage and just see how well it runs. We'll do also some macro shooting with it, some up close print filming to see how well the print recognition mode works, because that's, sometimes you get a film up close and you want stuff to show up on camera. A little bit of fine detail work with some of the trees and stuff around the area. See if we run into some nature and wildlife, and we'll go from there. So let's go and get started with our basic testing and an overview of the Fuji Finepix XP140. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is just before sunrise out here in the area where we live. It is November, it is Nebraska, so you're not going to get a lot of the fall colors anymore. Most of the leaves are already gone. Another neat thing to check out here is, low light conditions, what kind of anti-shake capabilities does the camera have? I'm currently getting tugged on by the dog, who I think wants to go for a walk, or go for a swim. No, you can't go down there, buddy. Anyway, so this is where one of the little tee-offs are. We're going to kind of get a little bit closer and show you some detail and see how well it handles low light, up close and personal. And one of the nice things about the auto mode is it's automatically going to bounce between your macro mode, and it's going to take care of itself as you film. Handling and ergonomics, the camera feels great in the hand right now. The little neoprene pouch is really handy. One thing I'm noticing is that it seems like it's kind of blacking out what you guys are seeing in front of you versus what I'm actually seeing in real life, and that could be because of the sun getting ready to come up behind. So let's turn around and just do a little bit of close-up filming so you can see how the colors automatically change. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Action shot. Hold on. So up close and personal, let's check out some detail here on the rocks. See if it keeps its focus. There we go. We'll do like a text mode when we get back to the house. We'll do some low light indoor shooting in the house. We've also got some fluorescent lighting in the house and some LEDs, which can be a challenge for, color balance on cameras and stuff like that. Give it a second to actually focus. And when you see me filming other shots from this camera, I'm going to be filming it with the other Fuji camera that I bought, because I bought two of these because of 40 bucks a piece. I thought, let's check it out. There we go. Kind of pull back a little bit. I'm about 8 inches away from the branches, and you can see what it takes to zoom in. Let's get closer and see if it can actually zoom automatically or focus automatically. There you go. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to come back here in the afternoon and just see how different the colors look, to see if there's any difference. I like this part because it is a pretty scene. It's a nice place to film, and it really is an expansive kind of open area. Here, let's do some zooming in real quick. Get the leaf settled here. Okay, so we've got this 5x zoom that we're dealing with. Not much. Okay, let's kind of pick a closer subject here. 5x zoom is not too crazy, but it is a very compact camera. It doesn't have, a long protruding lens out the front of it. But zoom does work really good. And I kind of don't mind the fact that it doesn't have a rear touchscreen. That's actually fine for me. One of the things I really can't give you advice on right now is going to be overall battery life. We'll see how it does doing these 3 little clips of filming. And when we come back this afternoon, it's going to be a shorter clip because it's just going to be the color differences and the light pickup at this time of the day. So, all right, we'll come back here in the afternoon. We'll throw a few more action shots here with the Corgi in. Also kind of curious about the sound on this camera too. The audio could be an interesting kind of pickup, because when you've got a rugged camera, you know, a lot of this camera is sealed. There's coatings over everything to prevent water from getting inside of it. Oh, lovely, buddy, lovely. All right, let's go. All right, let's cross the street. You ready? All right, let's go. Part of this test is just to see if you can even stay focused on a moving subject. And he's just cute anyway. All right, so we're just doing a little filming here. It is actually a little bit windy out right now, and so we're gonna see if the microphone picks up any of that wind. It's probably about a 10, maybe 15 mile an hour wind. Not much, but enough that it might show up on the camera. So let's let it run for just a few seconds here. I can hear the wind kind of whispering by my ears as we're walking down the sidewalk here. Check out tracking on a car. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you're picking up some of that wind noise. Oh, there goes a fox. Did you see him, buddy? You saw him, didn't you? Oh yeah. Oh, there he goes. Kind of off in the distance there. Okay, I'm gonna go and turn on the wind filter and just walk for like another minute and see if we notice much of a difference, okay? Okay, I turned on the wind filter. I don't know if it looks for a certain frequency of wind, but let me just be quiet for a second here. Wind's blowing pretty good. There's a little bit of echoing off in the distance from traffic, but if you're not picking up any wind noise on this video footage right now, then the wind filter is definitely worth keeping on when you're filming. Okay. All right, so just proof that it is in fact windy outside today. See a little banner moving. There's going to be a lot of noise you're going to hear in the background, just traffic noise, because we're not that far from the interstate. But just kind of facing the northwest, which is the direction the wind's coming out of. See if that filter does anything good, if it's worth keeping on or not. If it hinders the audio, if my voice is coming off kind of warbled or compressed, then the wind filter may be something to keep turned off. So we'll do some footage later on this afternoon without it and see if we notice much of a difference. But here's just a few moments with the wind filter on. To me, it's kind of a big deal because to actually have that option on a camera, it really can ruin a video. If the wind noise is too much, it's ruined quite a few of my videos in the past because I don't run an external microphone with any kind of a sponge around it, or dead cat as they call it. So here's just a few moments. Okay, got a little red tail hawk going on up here. Some nervous neighbors hanging out. There we go. Zooming in all the way there. Pretty cool. Okay, so here is some actual 4K footage. I wanted to really challenge the camera, so we're going to have some glare coming off the water. And we'll see if we have any purple fringing, which is like a purple haze you get around reflecting light that bounces off of surfaces. Fuji cameras can sometimes have a problem with that. It's a little bit windy out too. We'll see if the wind filter does anything. So 15 frames per second. It's probably going to be almost like it's in slow motion a little bit. So let's go down here and get some detail. Here we go. That's not bad. Now let's do some 4K footage of my car and see how sharp it looks. Now if you're not watching this on a 4K monitor or 4K phone, you may not be able to enjoy all the benefits of it. It might look a little bit sharper than 1080p. All right, let's go check out the car. Okay, so this is the 4K quality. I'm going to go ahead and film this also at 1080p so you can see what it looks like. Maybe see if we notice much of a difference. And again, this is pretty harsh, direct sunlight, afternoon sunlight. Let's get close and do some detail here. Looks like you're limited to 7-minute clips if you're running 4K. You're basically going to be gobbling up your memory about twice as quick or 2.5 times faster than you would if you're filming at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Oh, let's get the other side real quick too. This is fun. Let's check this out. There we go. You know, I was just getting ready to take off and I thought to myself, let's just go ahead and show it at 1080p, 60 frames per second, so you can see the difference. I'm going to keep my license plate out of the way because I already put the towel away, but we can kind of back up here and see if we notice. Let's see if we can bring it in. There we go. There we go. It's kind of just letting it do autofocus on its own. Again, you'll probably notice how much smoother this is, and I think for most people for this kind of filming, 1080p 60 frames per second is going to be more than adequate. Okay, so it's about 12:30. It's about 6 hours, a little under 6 hours from when we filmed this morning, and we're shooting at the exact same location. You can see the differences in the color. Add a little sunlight, things really start to richen up quite a bit. Zoom in a smidge here. Now we're going to get some glare from the water here. We'll see how well the camera can actually handle it. And again, for a camera that boasts, you know, ability to be used out in water and water sports, we'll see if it has any kind of better abilities in the glare. The one thing I did change about it is I did turn off I have a continuous autofocus on, but I don't have the autofocus continuous with motion turned on, which I think is what was causing some of the blurring. It kind of looks for something to focus on, and unless it finds something, it stays getting really blurry. So let's go back and check out the branches here and see what the detail looks like compared to this morning. If you go back and look at the morning footage that I just showed you a little while ago, definitely picks up a lot more light, and this is just all shot on auto. Again, if you run auto, it's going to do auto macro, which is pretty cool. It's nice and close. Okay, we're filming at 4K. Again, it might look a little bit choppy because we're running about 25% of the frames per second that we normally do if we're doing 60 frames per second, so it's going to be a lot choppier, a lot more resolution. All right, there you go. Okay, we will come back this evening, and then we're going to do some morning footage, and I think we'll call it good. And then part 2 will be a complete overview of all the features and the functions of this camera. Okay, so I'm trying nighttime mode here on the camera. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and it's much, much lighter in real life than what you guys are seeing on camera. As soon as I turned the camera on, things got really dark. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I've tried this now with automatic mode and then also night mode, and it doesn't seem to make much of a difference, but even with more than adequate light out front, it looks super dark on camera, but in real life it's much brighter than what you guys are seeing here. So nighttime mode, wouldn't really count on it. It does have like fireworks mode and stuff, but that might just be for, you know, portraits, for snapshots and stuff. So yeah, all right, so we're gonna bring it back in for some indoor shots, just with fluorescent lighting or LED lighting to see how it turns out inside the house. Just going to kind of show you what you can expect for indoor performance. All right, let's take it inside. All right, so we are inside the house now, and this is just lit up. This is our entryway, and it's just lit up by just a single, you know, LED light or 2 LED lights. And I wanted to put out kind of an assortment of items so you can check out the color accuracy and see what the color looks like to you. Might be a little bit darker on camera again than what you were seeing before. Okay, showing you some different colors here. So indoors is not bad. Again, you might want to maybe fiddle around with the settings a little bit to brighten it up a little bit, maybe turn up the exposure a little bit, but seems like indoor performance is going to be okay. All right, so we're in the kitchen right now. We've got some LED lighting going on up above and just showing off how well the camera can focus in on text. Not bad at all. Try to keep my hand out of the way. So sometimes you'll get cameras and they really do have a hard time focusing and giving you sharp text on camera, especially if you need to show off any kind of directions or notes or anything like that. This is pretty good performance. All right, so that wraps up our initial test footage of the Fuji Finepix XP140. Right now, for 40 bucks, I am very, very happy with this camera. It seems to be providing pretty good performance, and for what I'm going to be doing, I think it's going to work out really well. When we do the testing of it, when we do the overview of the camera in part 2, we'll actually go over the features, the buttons, the ergonomics, the menu, and all that fun stuff. We'll do a little bit of waterproof testing with it, maybe some minor shock testing. Like I said, I really don't want to break them. I know they're supposed to be damage resistant, but I do need these for the channel. But the main thing for me was just getting you guys a real good deal, helping you get into the whole 4K area. And speaking of the 4K footage, what I think I'm going to do is take the 4K footage and export that as a separate video at 4K so you can watch it on the 4K television. I know you kind of get tired of me saying it, but you're going to start seeing 4K being pushed all across the board on cameras here very soon. And if it's starting on the low end like this, then you know it's definitely going to be making its way up the ladder, if not already. So XP140, got it at Costco for 40 bucks, bought 2 of them, and the battery I noticed is just down to like 25% right now. And all in all, yesterday I shot many scenes with this thing. What you guys saw in the video was not all the video footage. I mean, I had to go through and edit stuff out. We probably did about 45 minutes of on-off recording and messing around with the modes and everything. And I think at some point I'll try to do a battery rundown test where I'm just going to turn it on, hit record, let it fill up a memory card, and just see how many cycles it makes it before it dies. That's something pretty easy for me to do. So if you're looking for a cheap camera, Fuji Finepix XP140, get over to Costco, pick it up for 40 bucks. You really can't go wrong. The little case is pretty cool with it. You know, I do wish it had some sort of protection, you know, like a front cover that would go over the lens. But it's not a big deal. It's designed to be active, used outdoors, and so on. So that's it. Coffee, computers, and more. Initial test, part 1, XP140. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.